Hey, America. Good to see you. Good to be seen. Sorry I haven't been here in a few. I had to take care of some stuff locally, and we've had a very busy week, or 10. Uh, but I'm here, and hopefully I'll be here a little more frequently in the coming days. Because we're getting down to the wire. And I want to talk to you about that a little bit, because as we're getting down to the wire, the lies are becoming more and more and more substantive, to the point where, and we kind of all know this, the orange shit stain pretty much can't speak without lying. And, but lately, I, we ended up losing Joe Biden as a candidate because the party decided that he might not be able to beat Donald Trump, and that for the possibility of cognitive decline. I don't think it was that. I don't think that Joe Biden is in cognitive decline. I think that he's aging, and I think that he, just like me, does not think as fast as he once did, does not articulate as well as he once did. And remember that articulating is a challenge for him, far beyond what you and I have. Anybody that grew up, had their whole life with a stutter, they're going to have more trouble articulating. But Trump has just as much trouble. I just said his name, the orange shit stain. Well, we told you that's a drinking game. Every time I say his name and not call him the orange shit stain, it's a drink. Here's to you. Happy Monday. I want to get into his lies a little bit. The ones really just in pretty much the last month. But before I do that, happy Monday. It is, because there's a thing that I'm just going to announce that I don't know how well, I don't know how recovered, I don't know how far. I will know after I talk to Fred, but I have talked to Linda, and Donna Bonacorsi is awake. I don't know how lucid yet. I do know that she's cussing people out that probably need to be cussed out. So that's some good news for today. Prayers answered, and I'm going to continue with them. I hope you will as well. I also want to put another personal thing in here, because there is the other side of that. Hope and the possibility of things being better sometimes doesn't turn out the way we want it to. We all probably know by now that John Brideveau has lost his darling wife, Marcia. She succumbed last week, I think it was last week, and a devastating blow. So our brother John is trying to come back as best he can. Be patient, and I will pick up as much of that slack as I can. Anything I can do to help them, that is what I will do. But know that that loss is there, and there just aren't words. I can't say anything more about it outside of please offer your prayers to John and his family, and Godspeed to Marcia. But one of the things that she would have wanted him to do, and that is what he's doing, is to carry on the fight. If you'll remember, he always referred to her as his political advisor. And we've got to carry on this fight. And a part of carrying on this fight is simply calling out the lies when they're there. And I've got 10 of them that are holy shit, and so easily researched, and you can see that, yes, in fact, this man is a big, fat fucking liar. My wife has always wished that the phrase, liar, liar, pants on fire, were literal. I would like to see that. But let's start with these. One of the ones, and this was in the debate, is that she's allowing millions and millions into our country. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets. He has repeated this at his rallies since then, knowing full well that it's complete and total bullshit. But if he can get your vote from it, he's going to tell that lie. What the fuck? No, they're not eating the pets. They're really not, Orange Shit Stain. They're not eating the pets. There is not one report of it. And let's think about that for a minute. Think about my dogs, my wife, and myself. If one of our neighbors took our pet and ate it, don't you think that we'd be making some kind of a report? Well, there are no reports like that. There are no reports that are at all attributable to Haitian immigrants stealing people's pets. It's a lie. That's one of them. We've got another one here. This was at his August 9th rally in Alaska. That Kamala Harris wants to ban eating red meat. No more cows. That's the exact quote. She wants to ban eating red meat. No more cows. He did this. Now, I said Alaska, not in Alaska, in Atlanta. You're talking to the people in the city of Atlanta about their cows are not going to be around? What the actual fuck? But what are you going to, how do you respond to something that crazy? If that's not mental decline, I don't know what the hell it is. No more cows. Look these up. These are his exact words. And this is not just reported words. All of this is recorded. This is live. You can find the video. And not out of context. This is what he said. Town Hall, August 29th in Wisconsin. He was asked about price gouging. And he said that Kamala Harris's plan is a communist plot. Richard Nixon tried it. You don't think that we can look back and see that Richard Nixon did not try to stop price gouging? In fact, Richard Nixon was one of the most pro-business presidents we ever had, aside from himself being a liar and a cheat. It's certainly not a communist plan. You're getting raked over the coals at the grocery store. That's a communist plan for that to be ended. The only communist plan is trying to put taxes on the people that are importers and call that a tariff. It's bullshit. Utter bullshit. Hey, Tone, good to see you, man. A rally in North Carolina talking about her McDonald's claim. This is a good one. It was a lie. She's a liar. Somebody went and checked. The manager said no. Let's think about that for a minute. Kamala Harris, 59 years old, worked at McDonald's in 1983. That's one hell of a manager that's been around since 1983. Let's think about that for a minute. Somebody checked, and the manager said no. Jason. And he said, Jason's not from around here, folks. Jason, you can tell him where you're from, but he ain't from around here, but he just did a southern accent thing very, very well. They're coming to take my cows, but my rights. But the whole McDonald's claim, somebody checked. They asked the manager, and he said no. Come on. Are you really that fucking stupid to buy into this shit? Then we have Dr. Phil's interview on August 27th. I told you, all of these are very contemporary. He said, and I don't know how to fuck this man's brain works. But he said, if Jesus was the vote counter, I'd win California. If Jesus was the vote counter, I'd win California. Let's think about that for a minute, too. First of all, in California, he lost in the last election by over 5 million votes. Now, you know, some of the other states, nope, he didn't lose by 5 million votes. But in California, he damn sure did. That's over 50%. The Democrats pounded him to the tune of more than 50%. That was the spread. But if Jesus counted the vote, you would have won California. Oh my God, really? You can't make this shit up. I wish I could. In Las Vegas on September 13th, just this month, talking about illegal immigrants. She's let in 21 million people. It'll be 150 million people before long. Okay, let's stop again. First of all, the number right now, as far as most experts that know how to count these things, count them, is we might have 11 to 12 million undocumented immigrants in the country. But she let in 20 million. Let's just fucking double the number. But it's going to be 150 million if she's elected. You are aware that the population of the United States of America is 330 million, right? So, wait a minute. Half the country is going to become undocumented immigrants? That's what it's going to be if she's elected? That's a lie. That's definitely a lie, Donald. I wish I could make them up. Wisconsin rally, August 29th. Again, just under a month away. Okay, this is a good one. Talking about immigrants and talking about the new jobs that have been created all at the same time, like he does. I can't even read this one, but this is a direct quote. 107% of those jobs went to illegals. 107% went to illegals of the new jobs. How does it get to 107%? Did they also take jobs that weren't there yet? But 107% went to illegals. This is a guy that's going to lead the free world. 107% went. I don't know how that can be done. I'm kind of having fun with this, but by the same token, folks, this is serious shit. This man has gone off the fucking rails. At his rally, just about a little less than 3 weeks ago, September 7th in Wisconsin, he was asked, where are all of these undocumented immigrants coming from? His answer was, they're coming from the Congo. They're prisoners that have been sent here. They're just letting their prisoners in. They're coming from the Congo. And they asked the people coming in, where do you work? And they answered, jail. What did you do? And they answered, none of your business. Okay. They will not say what the crime was, but they will say that they were criminals that were released and sent here. Just think Think about that for a moment. Apply the tiniest little bit of logic to that. By the way, that's just another racist dog whistle, people. He's screaming, the blacks are coming and they're coming after you. He's screaming it with the Haitians. He's screaming it with these supposed people coming from the Congo that are all criminals, that will tell you they're criminals, that they worked in jail, but they won't tell you what their crime was. Okay. Let's go back to Dr. Phil's interview. I forget what date that was. I think I wrote that down. Yeah, August 27th. So a little bit over a month ago. August 27th, Dr. Phil. How was it that they got rid of Biden? Well, they used the 25th Amendment and the 24th Amendment to get rid of him. And that's what he said was used. I know this, and I know this without looking it up. The 24th Amendment is about poll taxes. It was what outlawed poll taxes. But they used that somehow to get rid of Joe Biden. They used the 25th, or they were going to use the 25th Amendment. The only time that's ever really been discussed is when it was discussed about you, orange shit stain. I'm taking a drink anyway. All right. And this is one that really gives me a problem, because all it does is fuel the hatred for our transgendered population. And you know that's a serious issue for me. My child is transgendered. My daughter is transgendered. And all he's doing is another dog whistle and another attack on people, but lying to do it. In Wisconsin, on September 7th, talking about transgenders, talking about children going to school. They go into school one morning, and then they send them home. Your son comes back with a sex change operation. How the fuck does that work? When was the last operating room you saw in an elementary or a high school? What do they got? Some cabal that works with hospitals that, okay, kids in the door, ship them off to the hospital, quick, get them cut off, get them, get them, okay, now get them back here, get them on the bus, and they go home. That afternoon, a different gender. Give that some goddamn thought. Do you not see how ridiculous these lies are? But worse still, how fucking dangerous these lies are. Yeah, exactly, Michael. That's one highly skilled school nurse. But the real question isn't so much, can you believe how ridiculous these lies are? The real question is, how stupid do you have to be to believe in this shit? And when we go down that list of things that I just went through, not only how stupid, but how fucking weird. Transgendered operations, when they go to school, they come home a different gender? They're going to use the 24th Amendment, which is about poll taxes? 107% of the jobs went to illegals? How fucking stupid do you have to be to believe that? But also, how fucking weird does all of that sound? If you're voting for this guy, wow. You got some life issues there, people. If you're going to vote for him, one of the ones just recently. This isn't one of his ridiculous, funny lies. This is downright fucking scary. And trying to back away from Project 2025 all you want, it's yours. It's yours, orange shit stain. Own it. You're behind it. You can say it's not yours because the polls say, oops, that's a bad thing, all you want. It's yours. Your people wrote it. You've praised the Heritage Foundation up and down for what they've done, their history. They're the ones that paid for it. They're the ones that brought all of these maniacs together to put together a manifesto to create a dictatorship for the United States of America. But let's talk about Mr. On the first day he'll be a dictator, who just in the last couple of days said, our crime problem will be cured by one rough hour, and I mean really rough. The word will get out, and it would end immediately. He just called for the police to go ahead and be as rough as he would like them to be, his brown shirts, as it were. Let me read that again. One rough hour, and I mean really rough. The word would get out, and it would end immediately. One rough hour, and I mean really rough. The word would get out, and it would end immediately. Is that what you want for America? That's not what I want for America. That's not America. That's a fascist state. And nothing more. That's who the orange shit stain is. And any of you that believe anything else are hopelessly, hopelessly ignorant and hopelessly deluded. And I dare say a great deal of you are tremendously unintelligent. If you can buy into that bullshit, if you can listen to that last quote and somehow see good in that, yeah, everything I just said. People, we gotta win this one. We cannot have that man anywhere near the White House. You know what you gotta do. Do your job. Get out there. Get somebody else out there. Vote. One thing I'm going to tell you to do right now, today, you've still probably got some time to do it if you're in a time zone to the west of us. Call your voter registration commission or however it is set up in your state and double check your voting status. They are removing people from rolls where they can. Now, the ones that we've seen just recently, I think it was 174 or 177,000 removed. That was over the course of a few years, and that was about, and if you look at what the actual numbers are, they are ones that were probably removed for legitimate reasons. But they can mess up too, and every damn vote counts. Check and make sure you're registered. If someone doesn't know how, teach them how. Show them who to call. Give them the telephone number. If someone you know is over 18 years old or going to be on November 5th, before October 7th in Tennessee, get them down to the voter registration, whatever it is in your area, and get them registered to vote. That's the only thing that'll make a difference. We can't have it, people. We cannot run a country on lies and hatred. No, absolutely not. Let's win this thing. And what do we say? When we fight, we win. All right. I love you, America. Share this shit.